welcome to CXD, the podcast from Engine, where we explore the art and science of reimagining customer experiences. Airports are changing, aren't they? Now, once seen as stopovers, they're fast becoming spaces of possibility for brands and for travellers and for the future of retail. As consumers move more, expect more and share more, the role of physical retail is being redefined in real time within airports. Now, in this episode, we're exploring how travel retail is being reimagined. From duty-free to digital drops, from retail theatre to branded worlds in transit. We look at how global brands are adapting to new behaviours, the convergence of entertainment and commerce, and what it really takes to create memorable experiences for the connected traveller. My name's Oliver King, I'm a managing partner at Engine, and this is CXD. My guest today is Hugo Vanderschaegh, head of Altavia Travel Retail. Hugo's journey in travel retail is both global and grounded in deep expertise. Now, born and educated in France, he has a background in civil engineering and international marketing and began his career in Dubai in 2009. Hugo's early years were really hands-on and fast-paced, managing marketing activations for international brands in duty-free stores across the Middle East and India. And he later joined JCDecaux in Paris, the world's leading outdoor travel advertising company. In 2012, he co-founded ODG in Dubai, a consultancy dedicated to travel retail. And under his leadership, it grew into an international practice, delivering design and implementation solutions to airports, retailers, and brands worldwide. In 2020, ODG joined Altavia Group, the world's leading retail marketing group, operating in 40 countries with 2,000 employees. And today, Hugo heads Altavia Travel Retail, a global agency with offices in London, Dubai, Singapore, Hong Kong, and Shanghai, helping shape the future of retail in transit spaces. Hugo, it's my immense pleasure to have you on the show. Welcome. How are you, sir?
Hello, Oli. Thanks a lot for having me for this talk, a topic I've been practicing for now more than 15 years. And I think it's an amazing time to discuss travel retail because so many things are shifting. And I look forward to this conversation.
Absolutely. So let's dive straight in, shall we? So, duty free. Okay, so once this was really defined by tax savings and perfume promotions, but duty free is undergoing a real transformation. Today's travellers are looking for more than a bargain. They want something really memorable, something really meaningful. And as global brands rethink their presence in airports, it seems to me that we're seeing a shift from transactional spaces to really immersive experiences. So Hugo, I wonder, how do you see this evolution playing out? Can airports truly become the new flagship stores? And is travel retail catching up, or is it ready to kind of leapfrog and leap ahead?
Yeah, I think you're right in what you say that maybe travel retail was maybe behind traditional retail when it comes to customer experience for the last couple of years. And for sure, the downtown retail has been challenged a lot by online and e-commerce. And therefore, downtown retail adapted and is still adapting to these challenges, where travel retail was a bit late in this adaptation and this shift. I think as a start, I want to highlight the fact that travel retail is an immense opportunity for retailers and brands because we have time. And I think today retailers, advertising companies, brands, they fight a lot for audience attention. In travel retail, we have guaranteed time of a captured audience. We know our passengers are going to be there for about an hour or so in our spaces, and that's an immense opportunity. The second thing is physical. A lot of retailers are challenged by the drop in footfall in their stores, in their shopping malls. For us, it's the opposite. We have an increase in footfall. Every year in airports, footfalls are increasing. And that's a massive opportunity to have physical interactions with real people in a space. The third element, which is amazing, is that this audience is a very well curated audience. These are people who are medium to high incomes because they can afford travel. These are people we know are traveling for leisure or for business. We have statistics on their demographics. So we have an audience which is a good audience, well profiled. And another element, which is, I think, growing in importance, is the fact that we have spaces that are safe. When you're in an airport, you feel safe, and spaces which are getting better and better in terms of comfort and quality of the space. So I think travel retail has this immense opportunity to leverage on what I just described. And maybe we have not done it so well for the last couple of years. Food and beverage has done it really well for the last 10 years. Food and beverage really upgraded its game. You can have caviar, you can eat at celebrity chef tables, you can have amazing design and amazing food and beverage in airports nowadays in the best airports. And duty free maybe still has room to grow to capture this opportunity.
Yeah, so you're so right, aren't you? It is really it's the space where we're going to see this most amazing change, because as you say, retail isn't inhibited by the other factors that are taking place downtown. So it feels like it's a space within which brands can really experiment, really kind of build their presence and promote themselves. It feels like in the past, the airport, perhaps for travelers, was a place where maybe they felt they could kind of switch off or whatever. But now it's really a stage, isn't it? And for younger generations who are raised on TikTok and Instagram, we know that for them, shopping isn't just about buying. It's about broadcasting and the experiences they have, that they mustn't just be shoppable, they've got to be shareable. So that was really influenced things. Do you think in your work, do you see the way that brands are using these platforms really changes what people are expecting from retail, especially in travel hubs?
Well, for sure, just putting products on shelves is no longer enough. And as you said, it cannot just be a transactional space. It has to be more than that. So you're touching on the new generation, Gen Z and millennials, and how the way they shop is different from maybe previous generations. The first thing I want to say is, first, we are lucky because those generations, they love traveling and they even see travel as a need. So we should not be worried about the traffic growth that is predicted. It's coming. So those generations are traveling. Okay, great. So first, our kind of key pillars are there. We are going to have this guaranteed footfall. Two, okay, what do we do with it? And brands started, of course, to take advantage of that, and duty-free retailers as well. What we see is, if you look at a duty-free shopper, so someone who shops duty-free today, more than 50% of these shoppers started to think about their shopping in airports before the travel. So it means that we have, and this figure is growing. So passengers think about their duty-free shopping missions more and more in advance. And this is great because it's a huge opportunity for pre-trip engagement. So what do we do pre-trip? And now you have the basics, and then you have the most advanced models. The basics is just to inform your passengers about what's available in the airport. Because before, people didn't think about their shopping before coming to the airport. So we didn't need to advertise much. We will just have an opportunistic approach. Okay, they are here, they are flowing to gate B. Let's have the right offer on the flow to gate B. But now, because those passengers are more and more tech savvy and connected and informed before the travel, we need to engage them before. So the level 0 is to say, hey, you are traveling to my airport, this is what I have on offer. That's level 0. Level 1 is to say, hey, well, I'm promoting to you some special offers, some special products, some special experiences, because we know so that you are traveling from Australia to Paris, you have a stopover in an airport in the Middle East, and we know that you are this age group and you have purchased maybe lipstick previously with us. So we can start to have tailor-made offering to these people to make their journey more interesting and to have them kind of commit to a purchase before they travel. And the last level, level 3, it's okay, you can now purchase online, collect in store, or have the goods delivered to your place or to where you're going at your hotels in your destination. So these are very much growing, I would say, activities and online pre-trip activities in travel retail. So for sure, that's something travel retailers are working hard on. It's difficult. I don't think there is anyone who really cracked completely the model of free travel and e-commerce in travel retail. And we can talk about that later on how it's challenging the model of travel retail. But for sure, it's a big opportunity for these new generations to capture.
So it sounds like the whole sort of structure of the customer's journey is really changing when you think of a retail journey within a travel environment. And sure, downtown and on the high street, we might structure things thinking about what happens before, during, and after their experience. But it sounds like customers are much more intentional when it comes to traveling. They sort of understand the sort of retail opportunity that they're going to come across in the airport, and they prepare more for that in advance. They're becoming more aware, they research more, they decide what they want, they might make kind of pre-selections. And obviously airports and brands can respond to that and shape very different services within the airport to help people make the most of that. So it feels like a different space. It needs a special set of skills to kind of understand how to make the most of that.
Yeah, and going back to the generations you mentioned, these people are used to buy online and they can have access to any kind of products, and they are very good at purchasing online, comparing prices and so on. So why would they buy the product in your airport if they can buy it online and have it delivered? Or why would they buy your product in your airport if you're not so cheaper than if they were to buy it on Amazon or any other platform? So we need to give them reasons to buy our products now in airports. And that goes to, okay, what product are we proposing? And this is where we know that more and more airports are looking into offering unique products. Could be local products. Let's say you travel through Rome airport in Italy. Okay, you want to be able to buy some local products that you will not be able to buy back home. So local products is really, really growing in airports now. But not only, you see more and more travel exclusives. You know those giant M&M's pack or those giant Toblerone bars? You can only find them in airports.
My kids have loaded them. I can't believe it. I think that's,
And the reason why you have them in airport is because airport needs to have unique products that people think, hey, I will not be able to buy this elsewhere. Let's take advantage of it. And also, I'm not able to compare prices because that's the only place where I can buy those products. So the reason why you have some travel exclusive products is also to kind of go again, the kind of just price benchmark. Hey, my M&M's is cheaper than downtown. Forget this size of M&M's is only available here, so you can't even compare. Then the same for the other size products. And then more and more you go into limited editions. So now you see whiskey brands, very well-known whiskey brand that launched their limited editions in travel retail first. So you'll have this rare whiskey which was aged in special casks that is only available in airports at the start. And again, all this is to try to create unique products that people can buy only in the airport. And because otherwise, why would they buy it in the airport if they can buy it anywhere, right? So the other thing is personalization. Personalization is huge in retail now. And you can see more and more fashion brands, retail brands, accessory brands that try to allow you to personalize your purchase. And this is where travel retail is amazing because we have these people for 1 hour in our stores. So we can work with them on, okay, engraving their names on the bottle, getting some special leather goods with their own kind of selections of uh, accessories. And this personalization is really, really working well in airport. And it's a great platform for brands to do personalization. Again, to offer something unique they cannot buy anyone else. But I think local personalization and travel exclusive are really important leverage to play with when you are a retailer and a brand to again continue seducing this new generation.
Love it. Yeah, local, unique, personalized. So I see that. I see that working really well, and you mentioned this before around things like, FMCG. The stuff you might buy in the traditional duty-free area, the perfume, sweets, drink, etc., makeup, what have you. Does that idea of local, unique, personalized, does that extend to other brands, fashion brands, technology brands that are retailing in airports now, or is it unique to certain types of on-the-shelf products, so to speak?
I think it's endless. The possibilities of personalization and unique products is not at all tied up to a category. Imagine a shirt. Okay, a shirt. You could, and it's great to have, tailor-made shirts with your name on it, right? At the end of the day, it takes a lot of time to do that. You need to go to the tailor, you need to take your measurement, to sell your fabric, and then he will ship it to your home or you take it with you. In airport, you have time for that. And you can think about so many other products. I don't even think that, for me, there is no barrier to what you can do in airports. A couple of years ago, we started to see a massage in the airport. You can have your massage before you board. And I always thought, why would you have a massage in an airport? It's not really, you don't really have much privacy. You're on the border of the walkway. And I didn't really see it working. And I was completely wrong. There is more and more massage centers in airports than ever. And if they still open, it's because there is a reason. It's because it works in a way. So I think really passengers should be ready to see more and more, not only product categories, but also services and entertainment in airports, because I think these are great platforms because of the key pillars I mentioned at the start. The physical elements, the kind of captured audience, the well curated, all this create an amazing setup for so many activities.
Do you think that that's going to remain the case going forward over the next few years, or are we seeing some sort of maybe some downward pressure and realizing that actually there might be an increase in opportunity in terms of generating off-premises sale, and then the airport in some way having some claim upon that, so allowing retailers a bit more flexibility?
Well, what is true is that there is a signal, almost a red flag, which is that the sales in duty free, I'm talking about duty free specifically now, not food and beverage, the spend per passengers is kind of flat for many, many years. We even started to see that in 2019. Then came COVID, which kind of reshuffled everything. But now we are back to kind of the norm. And we see that again, the spend per departing passengers is flat in duty free. It means that we are not able to convince more shoppers to buy our products. So yes, the traffic is growing, so people are happy, the sales are growing, but the spend per passenger is kind of flat, if not decreasing. It means that we need to adapt our offer and our experience to convert more passengers to buy duty free. Because what's flat might go down, and therefore it will be difficult to bring it to a growth again. So now is really the time to say, okay, is our pure transactional stock on the shelf model still the good model? And we all know it's not. We all know that because of Gen Z and millennials, because of the need of personalization, storytelling, experiences, we need to dedicate more space to experience, etc. So it's changing, but very slowly, because the model, the basic business model I described before, remains. So what we can look at is one level higher, because here we were talking about the level of the retailer, but now the level of the airport. The airports, they have more and more spaces. So what do they do with their spaces? They give duty-free space, food and beverage space, but also now they do more and more entertainment. And I'm sure you've seen that. In some airports now you can do rock climbing, you can do cinema, you can do cycling. And they do that for good reasons, not just to please the travelers, but also because they know that when passengers are going to this kind of leisure and entertainment activities, they tend to spend more, to be happier and to spend more or spend more time into commercial spaces.
That's interesting. So they're intentionally trying to set the emotion for customers to relax them, get them in the mood to shop. Maybe I don't know, if the family traveling youngsters could go off and do a bit of bouldering, and then dad or mum can spend some time to go and shop for that that unique thing, that whiskey, that perfume, that whatever. That's interesting. So they're being very, like let's kind of create the conditions.
Yeah, and it's a difficult equation because those entertainment activities are not really profitable. They take a lot of space. People are not willing to pay a big amount of money just to do bouldering in an airport or to do. So it's a fine line between creating the right emotion and mindset for the passengers so they feel in a unique place and they are feeling that it's a good time to shop. With also, okay, my space is limited. What do I do with it, etc. So that's what's happening now in the airport world.
No, yeah. I mean, don't you, that from one's own lived experience, if you have a choice of airports that you could leave from, you might choose one that's closer, or you might look at what are the flight times that are going out of there, and I can get a later flight from this airport or an earlier flight from that airport, and that might choose. But then when it gets into when it kind of goes beyond that, are people going, oh look, we must go to this airport because there's a unique experience there, or there's some unique products there, or I've been researching it and they've got a great deal and I want to go and get a 10-foot Toblerone, or a completely unique Versace product or something.
Yeah. If, for example, the Dubai airport is an interesting example because Dubai airport was built many years ago as a hub. And the strategy of Emirates was to be a hub, a transit hub, meaning that they will basically target passengers in Europe or in Asia to go to Europe or Asia and have a stopover in Dubai, but just as a hub to consolidate passenger numbers. And the question is, did Dubai Duty Free participate in this success? Did people choose Dubai because they knew in Dubai airport they will have Dubai Duty Free, which was this amazing shopping festival with great prices? I don't know. But definitely it was part of the equation of the success at some point. And today it's changing because and Dubai is a great example for that because today, Dubai is no longer just a big transit hub. The amount of passengers who are coming to Dubai as a final destination keeps growing as a share compared to the transit passengers. So now Dubai becomes an airport which is the gateway to Dubai, where it used to be the gateway to another destination because the vast majority of passengers will never visit the city. And this really is interesting because you can see Dubai Airport is really shifting from being this international hub to being the Dubai hub. And if you look at the brand storytelling, the DXB brand they created and what they say now is a lot about the Dubai way. And that is you. And that is because they realize that the importance of the Dubai to be the gateway to the city. And that now is translating into the duty free and the retail to create this kind of more local relevant.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, and even just getting in some of these are the airport products about getting people to actually have a slightly extended stopover. So if you come in and don't fly out a few hours later, but go downtown or spend a night in the city, we'll provide a promotion that makes that very affordable for you. We'll even pay for you to do that, but leave the airport, get downtown, experience something, come back and go. It's a very different experience. Just to go back a moment on that sort of idea of that sense of place. In your experience, are there any airports that you think do that particularly well, deliver a particularly sort of unique, authentic, culturally nuanced experience over others?
Okay, the first that comes to my mind is the latest Charles de Gaulle terminals renovations.
Are you just saying that because you're French? Are you saying that because you're French? Are you just
No, it's
bigging up the
because
French
maybe that the
airports?
latest, the last one I visited last week. But I'm gonna try to find another one, not to be too French. No, but the truth is, Charles de Gaulle was not well known for a great passenger experience for many years, for sure not. But what they've done for the last couple of years, and they really anchor their strategy into sense of place. Also because Paris is Paris, so it's not about fashion, about beauty, about food, and they really leverage into that. So if today you go to the new terminals of Paris Air or Charles de Gaulle Airport, you'll have a big dedicated area which is look like a food market with different chocolatier, uh, savory counters, cheese counters, amazing wine selection, and you really feel like you are into one of those great downtown department stores about food. Luxury brands have really gone full on with double height story facade, amazing execution. But also when you go to the gates, you are sitting on the same sittings as you will find in Jardin du Luxembourg in Paris. They also mimic the fountains of Jardin de Luxembourg in Paris. So a lot has been done to give a sense of place to Charles de Gaulle Airport, which is an amazing story when it comes to the retail because of all the French brands and the kind of French kind of delicacies. So that transformation, I think, is a great example of sense of place.
I've I've got to go and see this. As you were describing that, my mouth was watering because I could imagine it. And you think that like for the cultural associations with France and food and wine and the like, that is so strong. So that's a real sweet spot for them. I don't know. You wonder whether there might be, I don't know, Italy and fashion, and whether Milan Airport similarly has a great kind of notes on fashion, and it's probably easy for certain airports in certain regions because there's a really strong kind of association with a particular thing that is also present within retail that they can really turn that up. But for some airports that are in regions that don't have such a distinct offering, you wonder what that might be. And I guess like coming back to like Dubai airports, DXB, what's the angle on that? And is that all about, Arabian hospitality or that warmth or whatever? Is that the angle that they're getting? So you've got to find some point of reference, haven't you?
I'm going to take the example of Riyadh Duty Free. It's one of our latest projects in Saudi Arabia. And Riyadh, as we all know, is becoming a big, big aviation powerhouse, and they are revamping all the airports. So we work with them on a lot of different initiatives, but one of them was to design the new duty free spaces. And the sense of place was very important. And the code name of this project was Afawa. Afawa in Arabic means the sense of hospitality, the sense of welcoming. And when you visit those new duty-free stores we have designed for them, the first thing you see is not the perfume and cosmetics, the Chanel, the Dior, which is usually what you put first in a duty-free space plan. The first thing you see is a very locally designed space with local dates, local chocolates, local coffee, local nuts, and all this in a setup which is inspired from the Najidi architecture, which is kind of the new contemporary Saudi architecture inspiration. And all the colors are reflecting the pattern of the sand dunes, etc., etc. So the design has really been done in order to create an emotional reaction, which is, wow, I'm into a special place, which is inspired from the local, let's say, culture, and I can find products which I can only find here. So that's Riyadh Airport transformation through the lens of the duty free. And this is what we do for many, many clients around the world on designing spaces or creating airport master planning.
Yeah, yeah. And the example you give is brilliant, because that sort of that I found that hospitality is such a part of Middle Eastern culture. And then the act of, from in days gone by, a more sort of traditionally nomadic existence, and looking, travelers looking after travelers, and the first thing you did when you met someone, you extend hospitality, and it's coffee and it's dates, and you can actually kind of reproduce that, in the airport, in that journey. It's wonderful.
But it takes time because those duty free contracts are 5, 7, 10 years contracts. So it means that you don't revamp your store every 2, 3 years. So passengers will not see that in every airport in the world. But I think in every new airport in the world, we are now looking at sense of place and creating this kind of unique crafted spaces, and the transformation is happening.
And so this sort of like sense of place versus globalization, and then thinking about global brands. So do you see the brands themselves really adapting to local local preferences, local expectations? Are they nuancing what they do too, or are they, doing the same stuff?
Well, the vast, vast majority of brand activations, permanent or temporary, are usually not really built on sense of place. Where usually brands, because they all know they have their brand DNA, their brand equity that they can't really twist so much. What they do more and more is, for sure, they take advantage of the seasonal activations, Chinese New Year, Ramadan, and this kind of more regional related activations to create special moments crafted in the local culture. And we do this for a lot of liquor, confectionery, perfume and cosmetic brands around the world, is to say, okay, what does it mean to be a fragrance brand during Chinese New Year in Shanghai, for example? Okay, and then you start to build a story and to create a special activation. And that is where and when brands really do the effort of creating something locally relevant.
And what's clear is that travel isn't or travel retail isn't really a sideshow anymore. It's a space for real innovation. It's a space to develop identities, for opportunities, and the challenge seems to be to really design experiences that resonate, to balance, global consistency with local flavor, and to create moments that are not just seen but really felt, and really shared. So if you were to give like one piece of advice to brands or airports rethinking their role in the future of travel retail, what would that be? And I guess indeed, like, what might the mind shift need to be for that industry to, to really stay relevant and inspiring for tomorrow's travelers? What are your thoughts on that?
I think you said it, is that we have the I think we have not just the right to, but I think we have the amazing opportunity to become innovator. Where for until now, I think airport was always trying to catch up on the latest trends downtown, or always trying to catch up on the latest digital innovations, etc. But I think now we can very much be innovators, and I don't want to give advice because not in the shoes of someone who can give advice to these professionals. But for me, the idea is to say, let's not be shy of innovating. It's not because your airport is a medium-sized airport in a medium-sized city that you cannot have the best brand that comes from another city around the world. You see, the the the, the the key pillars we have, the guaranteed footfall, the physical audience, the great space, the curated audience. These are amazing assets and amazing opportunity for brands around the world. So we have good reasons to innovate and to kind of do things differently. We should not, I think, as an industry, we should not be shy of doing things and thinking big, thinking, yeah, I'm going to get that brand because I have an amazing proposition. Why? Because I'm an airport and I'm spending so much on creating that beautiful platform that brands want to come to my airport. I think this is it. This is the kind of maybe message we could give is let's not be shy. We have an amazing proposition that people are dying to be in. And that's for me is, yeah, it's a difficult environment to operate. You have custom regulations, but at the end, we have fundamentals which are super relevant in today's retail world.
Yeah, you said it, haven't you? Be brave.
Yes, that's what I wanted to say. Sorry.
It's the word that came to my head. Be brave, seize those opportunities, and have faith, as you say, in the fundamentals that exist within the airport, and use that to your advantage. Hugo, thank you so much for joining me today. This has been an amazing conversation, really rich, really thought-provoking. Reminded me, had me reflecting on all the experiences that I've had, and just ticking off things you're saying against them. So it's brilliant. I really appreciate, the clarity, the depth, the energy you've brought to the conversation, and how you've explained, where the opportunity and where travel retail can head.
No, it was great. Thanks a lot, Oli.
To everyone who's listening, check out the episode description here for more on Hugo and Altavia Travel Retail, and also Engine's work in reimagining customer experience. And if you've enjoyed this episode, please follow CXD, share it with a colleague, stay tuned in. We've got more great conversations coming up, exploring the future of customer experience across all sorts of industries. So until then, thank you again, Hugo. Guys, thanks for listening, and see you next time. All the best.